everyone, this is Cindy from Stamped with Aloha. In this video, I'm going to be working with the Rustic Advent Calendar Kit by Stampin' Up. And I'm going to show you how you can take this cute Advent Calendar Kit and convert it into cards or gift card holders. So let's go ahead and get started with today's projects. So this is what the pockets look like from the Rustic Advent Calendar. And if you look here at this flyer that comes in the kit, you can see that these 4 patterns are repeated in order to create 25 pockets to count down the days till Christmas. So what I'm going to show you is how we're going to take each one of these designs using all of these pieces so there's no waste, and we're going to convert them to a card and a gift card holder. So before I start showing you the designs, let me show you the stamp set that I'm going to feature. So you could use any stamp with this, but I chose something simple, the Heartfelt Hexagon stamp set. Now this is part of our online exclusive. This is not in our catalog. And what I loved about this one is that this comes as a bundle with a punch. So during the holidays, I wanted to keep it simple. And so using a punch with the stamp set is a simple way to avoid any die cutting or embossing or anything like that. And I like this stamp set because it has a frame, but then it also has a sentiment. So we're going to be using this frame as well as the words "for you." Now there weren't any holiday sentiments in this, so I chose to also add this stamp set here called Celebrate with Tags, and we're going to be using that hexagon frame, but we're going to use the words Merry Christmas so that we can add some Christmas sentiments. But you could use whatever holiday sentiments that you might have in your own collection. All right, so let's start with our stamping. So I have some Early Espresso ink, and then I have my stamp and some basic white cardstock. So I'm going to take and I'm going to ink up my stamp with the Early Espresso, and I'm going to stamp 4 of these frames across the bottom of a piece of basic white cardstock. Now you want to make sure that you don't get too close to the edge because you need space for the punch to create the little frame around each one of those images. All right, so that's done. And so next I have some Real Red ink. So with my Real Red ink, I'm going to be stamping first the For You image that comes in this bundle. And so we're going to do 2 of them with the For You across the bottom like that. And then adding that Merry Christmas from the Celebrate with Tags. I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas in the center of these. And you can see that it just fits that frame really nicely. Okay, so our stamping is done. And then we're going to use the punch. So again, we're keeping it simple. And so you're just going to line this up inside the punch and punch it out. And I'll go ahead and do that 3 more times. All right, so we've got our 4 sentiments stamped. And now I'm gonna go ahead and show you how we're gonna create our first gift card pocket. So the first pocket that I'm going to make is going to be the wreath. So we're going to use some of these same pieces, but we're going to take off some pieces as well. And so first thing I'll show you is the gift card holder, and then I'll show you the card. So the pieces that we're going to need for this is the wreath. So let me grab that. So that wreath comes in both a light and a dark layer. And then we're also going to need the little bow that goes on there. Now, we are not going to need the number. We're going to use that on another gift card pocket, but we are going to need one of those stamps that we just did that says Merry Christmas. Okay, and that's all we're going to need to create this first pocket. Now, with the kit, you do get some mini glue dots, and they're really great, but just for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and use my liquid glue for some of this. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue, and I'm going to put some liquid glue right here in the center of this circle. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to layer this second wreath over the top. I'm just going to move it so that you can see kind of the dark layer peeking out in between. All right, so you could layer it either way, but I like the lighter one on the top. And then I'm going to take my sentiment here, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And again, the kit does come with a sheet of dimensionals, so you'll have that to work with. And then I'm going to pop this right on the center of the wreath like that. And then I'm going to take one of the edge of the dimensionals, just this little piece right here, and I'm going to use that to go behind the bow. And then we're going to place that bow right there. Now, the kit does come with these sequins, which are really pretty, but one of my favorite embellishments is the iridescent rhinestones. I absolutely love these. And since we're making alternate projects, I'm gonna really bling this project out with these iridescent rhinestones, okay? So before I put it on here, let me go ahead and put a whole bunch on my wreath. And I'm gonna alternate the sizes: large, medium, and small. Okay, so you can see I went all around and I created this very, very sparkly wreath. All right, so then to put this on the card, I'm going to place it here. Now remember that this did come with clips. So I could clip this gift card holder if I wanted to use the clips by attaching that. This would even be a cute little tag on a bag, but we don't want there to be any waste. So that's one way you could attach it. Otherwise, what I'm gonna do to eliminate that clip, and maybe I can use that clip on another project or to hang up my laundry or something, I'm gonna just turn this around and I'm going to add a row of dimensionals at the bottom of the wreath. Now I do wanna put like about 3 of them straight in a row. Okay, and then I'm going to place this here right in the center and glue it down. Now, I didn't put dimensionals at the top because I want you to be able to open this up by sliding that from underneath. And then because there's no adhesive here, we can slide that back in and it'll tuck in like that. So this is our alternate project number 1. Pretty simple, right? And if you don't have this hexagon stamp, again, maybe you could use a circle frame, or if you have the time, you could even die cut a frame and add a sentiment to the middle, but super easy. And we used all the pieces from the kit. Now, we didn't use that brown like wooden piece that's in the middle, but don't worry, we're gonna use that on another month. Now, let me just show you quickly how I put this on a card. Okay, so here it is on a card. And this is just one of our craft note cards. So the note card comes already ready to go like this. And then you'll see that it's the exact same design. So the only difference is I took one of these envelopes, I put it on my paper cutter, I cut off the bottom and very carefully cut off the sides so that I could open it up and have a nice big piece of cardstock to work with. And then I cropped it down to around a 3-inch or however much it was left over when I cut off the edges but this is 3 inches across. So it comes out to be about like 3 by 4 1/4 inches or close to that measurement, but it doesn't have to be precise. But then I just take that envelope, chopped it up, and I made a piece of cardstock, and that went across my craft note card, and then I created the same design here to create this set. So there you go. This is alternate number 1. You have a card and you have the little gift card holder. I think of all of them, this is probably my favorite because of all the bling. But let me go ahead and show you the next one. All right, so for the next combination, number 2, we are going to be working with this one here. This was the holly one, okay? And so what I've done is I'm going to take this piece, which was a part of the holly, this banner here. For the stamping, I'm going to use this For You, and you can see I got a little smudge there, but that's okay because we're gonna cover that up. And then this is the holly one, so I need the holly and the little holly, the berries. And then I didn't want to waste this wooden part that was on the from the wreath. So we're gonna incorporate this one by taking it and cutting it in half. All right, so depending on what numbers are on here, it is pretty even, but I think I'm gonna cut it this way, and we just want to use the end part here. Okay, so then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these 2 halves, and on the front side of them, I'm gonna use the little glue dots that came in the kit, and I'm gonna place the glue dot on the top and on the bottom near where I cut it in half. And I'm gonna do that on both sides. So up at the top here and at the bottom down here. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up this banner and I'm going to place this right in the center of that banner so that it covers up the number, but you can see a little bit of that wood trim sticking out, okay? So that's how we didn't have to sacrifice that piece. We added that in there. All right, then I'm going to use my dimensionals and I'm going to turn this over and place 2 dimensionals on this. And I'm going to cover up the number now and center this. Okay, for the next part, I am going to use my liquid glue. You could use the little glue dots if you wanted. And I'm just going to place a little bit of liquid glue right there in the center. And then I'm going to put this right on there like so. Okay, and press it down, give it a second to dry. And then I'm going to use a dimensional for this. And I'm going to line this up right here. Okay, so we've kind of made this little tag. All right. Okay, so we can get rid of this. And now I'm going to show you how we can incorporate this tag both on a card and on the gift card pocket. So this time, why don't I show you how I did the card? So for the card, I took a craft piece of cardstock, and then I took some of those scraps from the envelope, but actually this time I used the back piece of one, and I cut it down to 1 1/4 inches. So you can see these are just scraps. In fact, I don't even need this full amount, so I'm going to take it and I'm just going to cut it with my scissors. Okay, and what I want is I want to create a strip that goes across the bottom of the card. So you can see, even with this, I'm overlapping a little bit, but that's okay. So now I want to keep this kind of low on the card because this image is going to come and sit here. And you can see that where I place the leaves, because this is a card and it's a small card, I need to keep that kind of low on the card. In fact, I probably should have measured this first because that looks like it's going to be sticking over a tiny little bit. So because it's sticking over a tiny little bit, I either have to trim the leaf or I'd have to put this in a clear envelope. But okay, so I'm going to bring this down just because of where I had the placement. And I'm going to add some liquid glue. And I'm going to place this right here. And then I'm going to put glue on the other side of the strip. And I'm going to place this over here. And hopefully I'm straight. Okay, and then I'll take our little tag, turn it over. Now I'm going to reinforce where I tacked those circles down. Even though those glue dots are super strong, so that shouldn't come off. Okay, and then I'm going to take this pretty image here and I'm going to center it on the bottom of the card, and oh, that looks good. And there you go. And then the final thing I'm going to do is add a large, a medium, and a small. Oh, actually no. This card calls for 3 large. 3 large stones will look good on that. That looks great. Okay, so this is how I made the card. So now let me show you how I did the gift card pocket. So the gift card pocket for that is like this. So I basically built the same exact thing with the little wooden things. This time, the leaves do stick over the edge, but this is a gift card. So I'm not necessarily, if I want to mail this, I can mail this in a larger envelope and I'm not going to have to worry about this getting bent. I only put my dimensionals on this end so that when you open it up, it opens here and there's nothing here. So this little tag is kind of mounted on there to provide it so that it is like a latch. Okay, what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this is combination number 2. All right, I hope you guys like this. Again, I'm trying to use all the pieces so there's no waste. All right, let's move on to number 3. All right, so for this next one, we're going to take a gift card pocket. You could use either one because you can mix and match these products really easily. And then I have the 2 little bows that we're going to use. Also, I'm going to use this strip, which was a part of the original. It was down here on the original project. And then I am going to use my Merry Christmas. Okay, so very simple supplies. For this though, I'm going to get rid of this scallop here. So the first thing that I want to do is take my bone folder and I want to really crease this. Okay, so to keep it nice and flat, we're going to place adhesive on the top pocket here. And then I'm going to take this and glue this over the top so that only a tiny little bit of the scallop is going to show right there. And that should weigh it down, to hold it down. Okay, and then we're going to take this green one and I'm going to get out the little glue dots and I'm going to put a little glue dot there and a little glue dot there, right in the center of that. And then I'm going to bring this over to the side of that number 11 and I'm going to just place it on there like so. And then I'm going to get a couple more glue dots on here. Okay, and I'm going to place that one overlapping like that. And then we're going to really weigh it down by taking the Merry Christmas, grabbing a couple of dimensionals, and that will cover up the top here. And then the final way we're going to weigh it down is by adding our bling. So I'm going to take again a variety of large, medium, and small, and just kind of alternating where they go. And one more. And then you have this very sparkly pocket that you can open up like this. Okay, so the way that I did the card is like this. So what I did is I didn't change this at all. I just used that as it was. But then I took one of I used the same measurement, so it would just be easy for you to remember. When you cut it off, it's just probably a little less than 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And I glued that onto the card. And then I just overlapped that strip over the top so that it would make an even frame on there. And then did the exact same layout. So you can see that there was no waste and we have our little bow card and our little bow gift card holder. All right, we have one more. Let's do the poinsettia. Original poinsettia started out like this, okay? And so for the alternate one, we are going to use the flower. We're going to use the leaf. And then we're gonna bring in this number, which was also part of the original. And then we're going to use the words "for you." Okay, so this time let me show you the card. So I have this piece here that we're going to place across the center of the card. So let me get my glue out. And this is again like a 3 by 4 1/4 scrap from cutting up one of the envelopes. And we're gonna just place this right in the center. Okay, and then on this one, we're going to take and we're gonna cut this in half. Okay, and then we'll take our "for you," and then we're going to add this on the outside just like that. So I'm gonna just do this with some liquid glue, but you could also use the little glue dots as well. But just to have it go a little bit faster in this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my liquid glue and we'll make that straight. Try to make it straight. Okay, so it looks like that. So stretches out that gold and makes it sparkle a little bit. Okay, and then, oh, I had "for you" here already. Okay, I must be getting tired. Okay, so now we have this. This is the card, so I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to reinforce that with some dimensionals. Okay, and then I'm going to peel the backing. This one is super, super simple. Actually, I think all of these are simple. Okay, and then I'm going to place this on my card right about here. Okay, we're going to take the leaves, and just like we did when we put the rustic calendar together, I'm going to place a dimensional right there, and then this time I'm going to kind of line it up and attach it like that. Then I'm going to turn it over, and you can see there's 2 layers here. So I'm going to put the dimensionals on the lower layer and not put any dimensionals here. And then I'm going to bring this in like that and kind of center it on there and place it on my card. And guess what? We're going to just add some rhinestones and we have a completed card. This time I thought it would be fun to do one of each size. So we have a large, a medium, and a small to give some bling to the center of that flower. And then for the gift card pocket, here it is. You have the exact same combination that we just did. And the only thing is that when I put the dimensionals, I only put dimensionals there. So this too acts as a little pin, a little latch for our gift card pocket. All right, well, that completes my alternate projects for the Rustic Advent Calendar Kit. I hope that you could use these ideas and that they've inspired you to use this kit in an alternate way. I love sharing this time with you, and I hope that you'll come back and stamp with me again real soon. Until next time, aloha.